What's up, everybody? Tim Anderson here, aka Renville. Welcome back to the latest Inkarnate Mapmaking tutorial series. We are continuing on with our creation of different types of maps for our tabletop world of the Weave and the Void. We've done a city map tutorial series, we've done a world map tutorial series. Now we're getting into a regional map, a fantasy regional high definition map we're going to be doing today, which is a very highly detailed style appropriate for a wide range of regional, city, and scene maps. Now we're going to actually be doing a, not a city scene today, we're going to be doing a countryside scene, something that might look something like this right here. I don't know necessarily how deep down we're going to be going. We do have a world map that we're going to be working off of because this is a map that is for an upcoming section of the campaign module that's coming out on our Patreon later this year. If you aren't familiar with who I am and what I work on, this is my personal YouTube channel, but I also have our Patreon page for the World of Weave and the Void, which is where I work with my wife and my brother. My wife does all of the artwork. My brother works on the point and click adventure game, which is also set in the world. We have a fantasy book series, and of course we have our tabletop source book and modules. The source book and the prequel module Escape from Parthana became available in May of 2022, and we live streamed a bunch of campaigns on YouTube and Twitch up until the end of 2022, and now I'm in the middle of taking all of those live stream sections and we're making the next module, which will be out later this year, and I'm working on the maps for that module, and the maps are being done in a public space as a series of Inkarnate tutorials videos so that you can follow along and learn how to make maps in Inkarnate for your own projects. And of course, everybody who's a patron of our Patreon page gets these maps included as part of their subscription in the 8K resolution so that you can use them not only with our campaign setting, but you also can use them in your own tabletop setting as well as any virtual tabletop program that you want. So without further ado, we're going to be working on a new map today. We're going to click that Fantasy Regional High Definition style. We're going to go ahead and I think we're going to work in a landscape. I'm pretty high with that. We're going to choose the Ultra 4K resolution because I want to be able to give you guys the best resolution possible for the purposes of this tutorial. Now, this map, we know, actually, I should probably drop out and show you guys well, we'll save this first. We'll call this the cave map for now. That's the generic name. Go ahead and do that. And while it's saving, you get some elevator music from me. There is a section of the map that I want to point out to you on the world map. That's what we're going to be creating today. So I can't remember which session it was, probably session 5 or 6 from the live streams, part of the Forkland campaign. We're going to go into the Forkland campaign maps because that's what this map is going to become a part of. And this is the city of Forkland. Actually, we want to go back to the world maps. Where do I have the world map for this? Escape from Parthana? Yes. So we're actually going to go into the world map here, and I want to show you the section of the map that we're going to be cutting from. So that we have a frame of reference to help you better understand what we are working on. Probably should have had this open beforehand, but hey, it is what it is. So the city of Forkland is right here, and that's where this part of the adventure, and I did not open this at the 8K resolution. Hold up. I hear Chris yelling at cats. All right, so the city of Forkland is where this campaign is taking place. So we would go down here and look. And part of the campaign says that they went south of Forkland and down here along the river, there's a cave on the other side of the river. So they crossed the river, and somewhere over here in this peninsula is the cave that they found where they were meeting up to deliver the two elves that they were trying to get out of the city to escape the persecution of the Church of the Elder Ways. So I need a cave map. Well, more specifically, I need a forest map that has a cave on it. So that's what we're going to be looking to create. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be close to the river, but I can put the river in there if I want to. So we're going to go ahead and back over to here, and we're going to go ahead and open up our map. Did it save it? Portland. Oh, it probably just put it in the original folders. Yep, cave map. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to do the whole thing with terrain because I don't need any actual water. So we're just going to paint this whole thing like so. No, I don't actually like that terrain color, but we'll paint that in a little bit. Right now we're just painting this whole thing with terrain, and then we're going to come in here and we're actually going to change this foreground brush layer because I do not like that. It's horrifically bright. That's a little bit better. Let's go ahead and bring that size up. Actually, I want this to be something more like that. Okay. I think that's good for now. We may choose to do something different. It's the grass wild field, grass meadow field, grass prairie green, grass brown dry. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. All right. This will be what we start off with. Now the question is, where do we want the cave? And once we have the cave set, we can start working on building everything out from there, and we can flesh this map out. I can tell you right away that I'm not going to like that background that I painted. We'll change that in a little while. Cave. So I've got different types of caves here. I've got that cave. Let's go ahead and make these bigger so we can get a better idea of what we're looking at. We have that cave, we have this cave, this cave, this cave. Do we need the skulls? I mean, ice caves, no. It's not ice time. I don't necessarily like the skulls, so we'll probably end up going with like this one right here. But I think what I want is, it doesn't really matter where I put it. But for the purposes of this, we'll stick it up here. Now that's way too big for the purposes of what we're building, right? But just to get it on the map, I think that's the one we want to go with. Actually, no, it's not. I like that one better. So we're going to take this and we're going to place it somewhere up here. Now, it's way too big as it is right now. So we're going to scale that down. Because what we want to do is we actually want to make this a pretty like detailed map. And we're probably going to have the river running down here. Now, this is kind of placed in reverse because I don't have a way to, I don't think I can anyway. Let's just, for the purposes of, I could put it down like that because technically the river is to the north, but we're not going to be dealing with that right now. So we're actually just going to have to pretend, because this is just the way these assets are laid out. I can't flip it around in the way that I might want to. So I'm going to say, I'm going to put this down at 200. That looks pretty good. And we are going to flesh this out. I'm going to put it somewhere like right in here. And I'm going to repaint the texture because I tell you right now, I do not like that green. It's still way too rocky barren. No. Decisions, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try this, but let's drop the opacity. That's not quite enough. I still don't like that either. I'm not seeing a texture that I really like here, or a let's look at the fantasy battlegrounds. Look at the battle maps too, because there's more colors in here. I might find something that I like a little bit more. Forest, grass. Let me look at this one. Let's look at the advanced. Oh, that's much better. Yeah, that's much better. I didn't do the opacity. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. So we've painted that. We have that where we want it. Okay. And now we're just going to start working on fleshing this out. So we want to come back to the stamps. And we're working with the Fantasy Regional High Def now. So we're going to get rid of that. And we're looking for, at this point, I want some rocks that we can go around. So let's look at nature. Yeah, Rocky Plateau, cliffs. I think we'll start with Rocky Plateau. Well, we could start with some cliffs and we can kind of figure out how we want these. We definitely want to put something like that because this is going to be up on top of a cliff-based area, right? So we're going to get these to match up here, like so. I actually might want to put this here instead. Hold up. Yep. And we'll put this right here because that's going to wrap up in. And then we probably want no. Okay, I like the way that looks because then we can have this be a winding path to get up here. All right. Now we need to probably move this a little bit. Put it up here in the cave area. And we definitely want to work with some of these rocky plateaus. Now, these are really big. And we may want to flip them around just a little bit. And I'm not sure exactly what we want yet. So we're just going to play around with these first. But essentially, I want to go ahead and that might not give me the look that I want. So we're going to go ahead and play around with these a little bit. There, that's a little bit better. That looks pretty good. Now, what happens if I flip that? Nope, it's not going to give me the same look. I'm placing multiples out here so I can kind of get a look what all these look like so I can play around with the... We'll drop that one behind. And then we want... That's the same one. That's the same one. Okay. Let's go ahead and make that a lot bigger. And we're going to flip it like so. Place it back in here. We're going to drop it down like that. Okay. That is giving us sort of what we're looking for. And we can drop that down behind as well. Okay, now I want to take the cave, probably bring it up a layer. Okay. Yeah, it definitely needs to be up. Okay, like so. Now, if we want to continue to kind of flesh things out around the cave, because it's not perfect yet, you'll notice, like, we've still got this big-ass rock is in here, and it doesn't look perfect. So, continue to make that a little bigger. Hide that. And then we'll place... We don't have one of these yet, so we'll place this kind of back in here. Okay, gives us a little blend of things. Now this guy, looks pretty settled right there, right? Okay. Now let's look for some, like, rocks. Yeah, we'll take some of these. Now what we're looking for here is we're going to blend. We're looking for things like... It might not be, that might not be the best. You know, we might want to put them like that on that layer. Actually, we're going to drop that one down a layer. I may not like these eventually, but for now, I want to be able to place some up in here just to sort of do some blending. Nope, that's the same one. Sometimes when you're doing random, it'll place the wrong one. Oh, that's a weird. Okay, that might work right there. That looks way too funky right there. Bring that down in size a little bit. Probably need one more over here, just do a little bit of blending. Put it right over in here. Okay. Not too disappointed in that. That gives us a kind of a blended look here. Different types of rocks and everything else. Yeah? It's a good start. All right, now we need, go ahead and save that. Okay, that's a good start. Move our cliff down just a little bit. Okay. Adjusted the size of these cliffs just a little so I can get them better placed. That looks pretty good for a start. Now, I know we want a little bit of anything else. God rays, stalagmites. Nope, nope. Chasms, nope. Craters, nope. Red crystals? Nah, we don't need any crystals. Nope. Alright, what else we got? Vegetation? We'll do trees later. Let's see here. I don't need trees quite yet. I also don't need vegetation quite yet. Let's look at what we got here. I don't need any of those. Just looking to see if there's anything in here that I want. We do have pine trees. Are those part of the trees? No, those are different trees. Alright, let's go ahead and core. Let's go ahead and do some trees here. I feel like 175 is pretty good. Nope, we gotta bring those way up. Is 2 gonna work or is 3? Nope, I gotta have them up on 2. Gotta have them up on 3. Now I'm doing individual placement here as opposed to mass placing, just because I definitely want to sort of hand paint this as something that is, you know, kind of a narrow choke point coming in. Now we can come in here and do an area to fill if we wanted to. I don't know, because I want to have these cliffs visible to some degree. So that might be too much tree placement. It might be something like that. That way we still see the cliffs. And probably coming in here and saying, you know, got some tree placement in here. Like that. Okay. Probably do one more single up over in here and one more here so we get the shadows that we want. Oh, that needs to go behind. We can do over. Something like that. I bet we can place one right in here too. It's got to come up. No, there's a tree right here. How do I get on it? There we go. Okay. Now, Do we have a fire? We do. Size of that fire needs to come way down there. We're going to put it back in the cave. Like a 25. Now I don't want it up on that. I'm going to have to though, because it's going to be like so. Do we have smoke? We do not. It's okay. Don't need it. It's good. And what size are these trees? Okay. Because you got to have some dead trees from time to time. We may do some more of these later, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and just put these right in here. Perhaps one right there, and maybe another. I think we're good. That's enough. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Let's do some deciduous trees now. Actually, I want to come out here and what size are the they're 175, so also bring these to 175. I don't know that I want the density that high. It's not enough density. It's too much density. That might be enough. Okay. Now, this is supposed to be an area that's really hard to get to, right? We're going to throw some of these in here. Now, there's a way to make this look even cooler, which we're going to do here in a second. Okay. We're going to come in here to the battle maps. And I can't remember if it's... Where do they have it at? It's forest. Oh yeah, because they've added these thick old trees and apple trees and things of that nature, and bushes and flower bushes and snow pine trees and pine trees. So one of the things we're looking to do is add a little more variation to things, right? So, and by the way, we'll use some vines later on potentially. But what we're really looking for is just some variation. So we would come in here with these thick old trees. We might bring them down in size a little bit, and we're just looking to may need to bring those up a layer or two. No, they might be okay where they're at, but I might need to just find a place to put them. Does that make sense? Now, it's subtle because they're top-down assets. So in many cases, we may actually have to bring those up a layer and bring them down in size so that they blend a little bit better. That makes sense. So actually, let's just take all the ones we just placed. These are these. Hang on. Thick old trees. Thick. Select 11 matching. We're going to bring them down in size. We're going to bring them up on the layer. But we're going to bring them down in size to say 30. Now we might not like the way they look at the moment. I think they look a little too obnoxious actually. So we're actually getting rid of those. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes it doesn't. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for areas where I can blend them. Now, if it doesn't look good, we have to come in here and we have to tweak manually. Like so. Just a little bit of color. There's this tree I want right here. If I can get it. It's not it. This one right here. There we go. Okay. So really all I'm doing is just adding a little bit of color in here in places. Might not always work, but it does give us a little bit more oomph. Come in here with bushes as well. These often work as well. Okay, that just adds a little bit of color. In those little spaces in between. Okay. Now, the river is technically, it doesn't have to be on this map, but we could put a small body of water if we wanted to. The next thing I want to do, though, is I want to go ahead and save this because we've added quite a bit to this map. Now, this is not a completely hidden cave. This is a cave that is known to hunters of the region. So one of the things we might want to look at is see if there is a cabin of some type. Now there probably isn't, but let's go ahead and look at the Fantasy Regional. We're looking for some sort of a building that could be like a hunter's cabin that we would place here in the woods. Something simple. We have farms. These all might be, that one might work right there, the very simple building. It could be this one actually, the lumber mill. Just keep looking. Let's remember the lumber mill though. No, we don't want the town. We don't want snowy buildings. Double check all these things down in here. No, Viking settlement, definitely not. All right, let's come back up in here and look at this again real quick. Human town. Those are too structured. Human town set. Again, too structured. Honestly, I think this little building right here might be the best one. Or this one with the chimney. Let's think about this for a minute. Now we definitely want this buried behind the trees. So we're going to come in here like this. We're going to have to get a little strategic with the trees that we already placed. I don't like any of that. So we're going to adjust the placement of this here real quick. Now we can bring that up. Nope. We can bring this up. Actually, can we bring that down a layer? Oh, that might work right there. I think that's way too big. So we don't want it to be, might have it be 200. Yeah, that can work. Now, let's go ahead and have, I'm going to go ahead and add the river down in here. So what we want to do is we're going to come in here and do some subtraction. Now, I don't know if that's going to give me, nope. Let's bring that. Now that might not be enough. Might be too much. Okay. Is there a bridge? Probably just look at a bridge first. Yes, there are some bridges. I just want a simple wooden bridge. Just like that. Perfect. We want it to scale though. Thinking about the size of the... Yeah, that'll work. So something like this. That's the scale that we want for the bridge. So we actually need to bring this river down in size just a wee bit. So go ahead and add back in. And just at least in this section. Like so. We don't want the ripples. I also don't want that color for the water. I don't want any of those. Those are not... What do we got for water over here? No, I don't like any of those. That's a little better. Okay. Okay. And we're going to have a path. We need dirt. I want to bring the opacity down here, but we want a path. Oops. Need to paint on the foreground. Not the background. So this can be up to the house. Like so. Now to the cave. We definitely want there to be some dirt around the cave entrance here. Probably coming down here. Bring that opacity down a little bit because we don't want the path to be completely we would come here through like so. Just to represent that there is, you know, a path that goes up in there from the cabin. this all be dirt around the cabin like so. Okay. So that gives us, yep, that. Now, what do we want along the edge of the river? Probably, hang on, I'm in the wrong one. I want assets. Probably reeds and things of that nature. Yeah, vegetation. Swamp fronds. No, but you know, if we've got that might be too big for the grass. I want to place some right there just to see what it looks like. $30 is not bad. We'll do 30. And we'll do 10. You know what though? I'm going to have to do this individually. Because it's not giving me what I wanted with the grouping. Oh shit, I forgot I need to. All right, we'll have to manually do that real quick. So we'll have to, I'm just doing some quick painting here because I'll have to come in here and fix the layering here. All we're doing at this point is I just want to hide this black layer of anyway, we see the black, we're going to try to come in here and paint it away. Or at least give the illusion that we've painted it away. I know, I haven't saved in a while. The program's freaking out going, dude, save your work. All right, now here, I don't mind, but now we need to drop it down a layer. Because we're going underneath. But then bring it up a layer again. Drop it down a layer again. Okay. Now, that kind of gave me this, but this is a little too uniform. So we're going to come up in here and we're going to do I got to finish the edge of the river here. Okay. Okay. Back down to 100% density. And that does not look too bad, honestly. Go ahead and save. Now, I honestly don't know what else I need to add to this map because this is mostly just about the cave and the hunter's cabin. You know, and players coming in here. Probably just need to add some bushes at this point, trees and stuff. Let's look at other trees we have. Bring these up. Definitely bring that size up. Oops. So those can come in there. Nope. Oh yeah. And they still kind of don't blend. Nope, because of the way that those are textured. So like those right there. So nope. Where else can we put some bushes? Maybe we could just fill this whole area right here with bushes. Oh, that looks beautiful. Oh yeah. Now I'm gonna have to do some strategic stuff with the trees here in a second. Just hold that thought. Hold up a minute. There we go. Doing some strategic placement here. All right. Now, if I want to, I could probably fill all of this in with bushes. Nope. Whoa, 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 whoa. Gotta come down a couple layers. And we can leave terrain in here. Now, why doesn't it want to paint? When I did the... Okay. Probably leave it a little bit bare down there so we can actually see the cliffs. Like so. That makes sense. Okay. What about on the other side of the river? What do we want on the other side of the river? I think we just go ahead and fill this up with the rest of these. Why not? We have some more trees down here too. But for now, let's go ahead and drop these down on the number 1 layer. Let's make sure that we're going to get a good look. Nope, that one's got to come up. Something like that. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay. Something like that. We're not too worried about if there's a little bit of gappage here and there because that would add a little bit of a natural look to it, and also um, okay. Now, if we want to, we can come back in and add some more trees. Now, those are 175, so we could come down quite a bit in our size since we're on the other side of the river. We could maybe just do like 120s. Now, we may have to adjust the layering here just a little. I don't actually want it to be quite so. No. I don't like that tree. It's too many. Too many big trees. We need a small one like that doesn't look too bad. All right. Now we got to come back in here with brushes, and we got to be strategic about placement here. Just enough to kind of cover it up, if that makes sense. Yeah? Layers upon layers. I feel pretty good about this map right now. I think we're actually good to save this. And call it good. So this is going to be going out to the Patreon. It will be available in two formats. One is, we're going to slap a POI on this here in a minute and call this the Hunter's Cabin and Cave, which is part of the actual campaign. Then there will be another version that will have no POI. Both of these will be exported in 8K resolution and available as a map pack for our Game Master subscribers. So you'll be able to have one version that you can use with our campaign and another version that has no POI that you could use with any campaign setting that you choose to use, any VTT program that you choose to use. You can put the grids on in any program you like, whether it's Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, Foundry VTT. Put your tokens on the map and go from there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon here so that you never miss an update as I continue to do Inkarnate tutorial videos. This would be a regional map, an overland regional map. We will be working on a top-down cavern map next for the interior of one of the other places we have to go. And we have to do I don't know that we'll be doing that next. We also have to do a regional village settlement map because there is a village that the adventurers travel to as a part of this campaign. When they leave this area, they have to go. There's some stuff that happens, so you'll be wanting to check that out as well. Excuse me. In the meantime, that's a quick 1-hour build to get a map ready. I may end up coming in here and adding some more little details here and there, but this is pretty much all I needed just to have a map to throw up in our Fantasy Grounds campaign for the players to have something to look at. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, support here if you can, super chats, super thanks, memberships, all these different ways. You can plug in the amounts that you prefer to use. You can let YouTube dictate. They have some pre-programmed stuff here. But of course, the big thing is head over to our Patreon page and subscribe there because you get a bunch of perks. You get access to our maps, you get access to our source books, you get access to the fantasy book series that's being written. The first book's already actually coming out. It's finished. We're getting ready to start work on the second novel, the point-and-click adventure game, a whole bunch of other stuff. So check all that stuff out. I'll see everybody in the next episode. Until then, stay safe. Happy gaming.